speak to him privately. After that, I was informed that Rex would no longer be our coach.
If only Bills Mafia could go back in time and have our next guest suit up. He led the Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls, a 5-time Pro Bowl quarterback, plus he's inspired millions by being Kelly Tough. We welcome the Hall of Famer and friend of the show, Jim Kelly, to the First Take desk. Always a pleasure to have you.
Good to see you.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
First order of business. First of all, how are you feeling? How's your health? How's everything?
I feel pretty good. I just got back from New York City about 2 weeks ago. My recent MRI, which is quarterly, every 3 months, and so far so good. I just continue to work, and you know, it is what it is. And I know it's no cliche, but to make a long story short, when I travel speaking, I realize that I don't have it that bad. There's so many people out there that have it a lot worse than I do, and if it's meant for me to go out and inspire others, that's what I'm going to do. And I know a lot of your colleagues here at ESPN has been through some tough times, Mort, Holly, and so many other people. But, hey, I'm here, and I'm here for a reason.
I got you.
You inspire many of us, and that perspective is humbling.
Oh, I try.
On a kind of a negative note here, I want to start with Rex Ryan. Sorry to start off on this. What went wrong?
Players didn't play. Coaches didn't coach. It's interesting how you look at the last 2 years, and especially, I mean, I bought into it, and I think you even bought into it early on. When Rex first got to be a Buffalo Bill. That's what we wanted. We needed that energy in that locker room. We needed that energy in the city. He brought everything we wanted, but it just all started falling apart. And last year, he gave us glimpses of a future for the city. This year, things started out shaky, started out, and then, you know, up and down, and then things started happening after the firing of Greg Roman, and then all of a sudden, the last few games of the season, and boy, it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but when you watch and you're there all the time, you see the way some things are handled. It makes you worry about it. But you know what? I have total faith in the Pagulas, even though some people said that they might not have handled it right. We, as outsiders looking in, don't know all the logistics that go behind the talking between Doug Whaley, our general manager, Russ Brandon, our president, and, of course, the Pagulas. So for me to sit here and point a finger at this one or this one, I don't know.
I have a pretty good guess as to what's going on, though. If you have an injury guarantee, if you have an injury guarantee and a contract for a quarterback,
that I agree with,
and you're not going to make the playoffs, and the front office tells you, don't play that guy, because if you play him and he gets hurt, we're on the hook, I think, $27.5 million.
Yeah.
And the coach says, to hell with that, this guy gives me our best chance to win, and plays him anyway. Guess what's going to happen to that coach?
I know. I just have to say this, and I do agree with Rex looking at that standpoint, because it is his job also. And I think at the time, Tyrod did give them the best chance to maybe win 2 or 3 of those games. But me personally, I'm thinking, why don't they give Cardale Jones a chance with 3 games to go? We already know about EJ. I love EJ to death. I listened to him talk to the players. I saw how he was around them. He did everything except he just can't play.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, your candor with that. Max and I disagree in this regard when we talked about Rex Ryan. For those of us on outside, particularly those of us like myself and Max, we didn't play football. So I'm like this. Well, I know results. Now, the nuances that come with it, probably not, because I'm not inside there. But I do have a right to sit there and look at you and judge your results. And Max is like, forget the Jets. It's Buffalo. It's just 2 years. My position was, it's 6 consecutive years that you're a head coach. Not only do you miss the playoffs, you don't even register a winning record. I believe that that is more than enough evidence for me to say, I got to lose you. You say what to that?
No, I agree. I mean, Rex is a very good friend of mine, so it's hard to talk negative. But I think in his own mind that he knew coming down that if they don't win, and they don't win not so much convincingly, but win on a fashion that they've earned it, and they just didn't win by a fluke, that his job might not be there at the end of the season. I think he knows that. And we all know that as players and coaches that might happen. I think as it started going down, I think that's why they decided to make that decision with Tyrod. I think they wanted to keep Tyrod in there as long as they can, because he felt, I'm sure, that gave them the best chance to win. Even, talking about EJ, I hate it because I love EJ, and I wanted him to win, and I wanted him to be the quarterback 2 years ago. But that just didn't happen. He continues to prove that maybe the NFL is not for him.
Right.
But one thing that I said, 4 weeks ago is give Cardale Jones the last 3 games, Dolphins, Browns, and Jets. Then we will find that if we have a quarterback, if he does well, then maybe we do have a quarterback. But if he doesn't, I don't know where we're going to go then.
Is this putting the cart before the horse? Because this is what the argument really boils down to. Stephen A's like, if you don't have the results and you're dating it back to the Jets, you got to get rid of the guy. My point is the good organizations don't do that. Like Tom Coughlin had some bad years. They stuck with him. They won 2 Super Bowls, largely because of Coughlin. And so in your day, there was stability there.
Yeah.
And it led to success. Or can you only have stability when you have the right people in place and you're throwing good money after bad if you've already determined they're not the right people and you keep them on anyway for the sake of stability? Which is it? It's got to be one or the other.
I like how you talked about stability because I'm a very good friends with Tom Brady. And that was one of the things he told me when they came to Buffalo, that he was so happy because they've had the same offensive line coach for 20 years. They've had the stability there. Even though some players have been here and gone, their coaching staff has been there for many years. And that's what it takes. It takes a whole team effort from ownership to head coach to players. The players got to hold themselves accountable. One thing that I really didn't like about what I've heard is some of the things that, players late for meetings and they weren't really pointing them out and say, man, somebody's got to step up, confront the individuals and say, this is not how it's done. I have a feeling that the Pagulas know that now, and I have a feeling that they're going to step it up. I pray that it happens sooner than later.
So,
we all been saying that for years. It just hasn't happened.
How come no A-listers as coaches on the docket in terms of being interviewed? We haven't heard any big names interested in the Buffalo Bills job. Can you explain that?
Me personally, if it's me and I'm a coach looking for a team to play with, it all starts from one person, the quarterback. Do you have a quarterback that can lead you to the next level? We do not have one as of right now. Tyrod Taylor, he did a lot of things this year and last year that a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL cannot do. But consistently, he just wasn't what we needed. He had to be more consistent on his throws. When we needed the first down to move the chains to win games, we needed the first down to move the chains to continue that control of the ball, to take time off the clock. We just didn't have that there. And, again, the 3 quarterbacks that we had, when you are around them, I wasn't there all the time, but when I'm around them, just their personalities is everything you love. You just want it to work for them, but unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. And if I'm a coach, that's the #1 position I look at. Who's my quarterback?
Quarterback-driven league, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So appreciate your insight and such a great energy about you. So nice having you around. So thank you
see
so
you.
much. Come back soon.
I will. Thank you, guys, and you guys do a great job. I enjoy listening to you.
Thank you so much.
Sometimes they do.
Well, I'm glad you're in the middle.
I'm just kidding. Coming up next, we all know Jerry Jones wants to win another Super Bowl, but would he actually be happy if he won it without his BFF, Tony Romo? Plus, Mark Wahlberg is going to join us. We'll ask him about Tom Brady and his chances for MVP, plus his new movie, Patriots Day, out soon.
Case Closed is brought to you by LegalZoom. Get help for your business and family at LegalZoom.com.
We set up an obstacle course to demonstrate Bridgestone's Blizzak WS.
Hot takes like only he can. Plus, we'll preview Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. So keep it locked, ESPN, all week long. And First Take is on the road at the College Football Playoff. Come see us live next Monday and Tuesday in Tampa. We'll be on the upper terrace at the Tampa Convention Center. Tim Tebow, your friend, Stephen A. is going to join us. Cedric the Entertainer, Charlie Strong, Les Miles, and more will join us. Plus, we're going to have giveaways. Show starts 10 a.m. Eastern. Doors open at 8:30. It's free, first come, first serve. So we hope to see you all in Tampa. So as just mentioned, we are 3 days away and counting from Wild Card Weekend. So that means Eli Manning and those New York Football Giants will take on the Packers at Lambeau for the 3rd time in the playoffs. Both Rodgers and Eli Manning have 2 playoff wins at Lambeau, but one of Eli's wins was against Brett Favre, who believes Rodgers will not only get the win this Sunday, but also on Sunday, February 5th. Here's Favre on his weekly Sirius XM radio show.
Taking emotion out of it, I believe that the Packers are the team to beat, and I believe that they will be in the Super Bowl. I feel like, collectively speaking, they're as close to hitting on all cylinders as possible. Not perfect, and nobody is, but they're super productive on offense. Aaron obviously is playing great. They have a opportunistic defense. I just give the advantage, not just in this game, but this side of the NFL to the Packers.
Teddy Bruschi's in the house. He knows a thing or two about winning.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year. Thank
New
you
Year.
for being with us. I want to start with Stephen A. on this, though. Stephen A., why is Brett Favre saying this?
He's trying to jinx Aaron Rodgers.
He's
That's right, I said it. He's trying to jinx him. He's trying to jinx him. That's what it is, okay? Because we all know that Brett Favre ain't interested in Aaron Rodgers winning more Super Bowls. He's won one in his 20-plus years as a quarterback, 18, 19 years in Green Bay. You know, he only got one Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers already has one. Another one will make two. I already know he's a bad man, Teddy. I already know this. He's the most talented. That's a talent, not the most successful. But from a talent perspective at the quarterback position, I don't know anyone better that I've ever seen. He's a big-time quarterback. He's one of the best in the game, if not one of the best ever. Brett Favre knows it. He's been reluctant to accept it. He's on the record admitting it. We all have the documentation. So don't tell me that all of a sudden an epiphany has arrived and Brett Favre is a completely new man, that you know what, he wants to hug and sing Kumbaya to Aaron Rodgers and be done with it. No, I think he's trying to jinx him, Max Kellerman, Teddy Bruschi.
So
I don't think he wants him to win.
Either way, he wins, basically, Brett Favre, because if Aaron Rodgers loses in the playoffs,
That's right.
deep down inside, he feels good.
Doesn't that sound like Brett Favre?
But if he goes on and wins, it's like, I told you.
Doesn't that sound like Brett Favre?
It's a win-win situation.
It's sort of the conflicted mind state, a former player to see his organization that he's left maybe has sometimes. I mean, to see them succeed. Everybody has their own little time frame in terms of, okay, now I've cut the cord, I want you to do well again.
Right.
And so it's maybe Brett Favre.
Not with the guy
So either way, he does win, though.
Here we go.
Not with the guy who replaced you, though, who you didn't like. I mean, that's been documented now. These two didn't get along.
That's true.
and who is better than you. Like, I'm sorry. And curious to know what you think about this, but I notice this happened with LeBron James. I don't think it's exactly jinxing. I don't think it's just people with wishful thinking, hoping that it becomes a reality in the universe if they say it. I really don't want him to win. I think the same thing happens with LeBron James in this sense. People who watch LeBron James and people who watch Aaron Rodgers, and I've seen Michael Jordan. Jordan's better than LeBron. Sorry, LeBron. It's probably the second best I've ever seen, but Jordan's the best ever. But a lot of people who look at LeBron say, damn, he might be the best ever. And they have their own personal favorites, Kobe Bryant or whomever else. And so what they do is they start to raise the expectations for LeBron. They raise them to a level where anything less than essentially winning a championship every year, and he has failed. And that's what I think Brett Favre is doing with Aaron Rodgers, because when people look at Aaron Rodgers, and I'll speak for myself, when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I go, that may be the best I've ever seen.
I got to call a timeout, Teddy, really quick. Okay. What if Brett Favre legitimately believes that the Packers have the best chance in the NFC? Well, many believe that.
Right, but I think we're going a little deeper than that now. All right, because if Brett Favre were to say they have a chance at winning, but there are other teams in the NFC that I think are even better chance, like in Atlanta, like in Dallas. So I don't think the Packers are the leading candidate to win, to get to the Super Bowl. It would provide motivation. It would provide motivation to Rodgers. This is what Favre said to you. Everyone's coming to your locker now. Here's what he said. What do you think of that? And then, indirectly, he's providing a little motivation for you to go win another Super Bowl, which would make him considered even more better than you, because now he has two. So he doesn't want to do that. He'd rather give the support to him and maybe irritate Aaron Rodgers a little bit and say, I'm with you. You're going to win it this time. You know I don't like you that much, but still, I'm with you now, and now be an irritant rather than a motivational factor.
It's
really twisted.
This is my man here. Of course he's in my camp. And plus the facts speak for themselves. We all know that Brett Favre, the ultimate prima donna that he was in the latter part of his career. I mean, let me tell you something. And this is not Brett Favre's fault. I blame the media for this. I blame this network for this. I blame a whole bunch of networks for what I'm about to say. Brett Favre literally. This is not an exaggeration. I swear to you, this is not, it is not an exaggeration. I do not engage in hyperbole until I tell you so. Here's the deal. Brett Favre literally trips over somebody and throws something underhanded. And we got sports center. Oh, look at him trip over his defensive line.
He's drawing up plays in the dirt.
Look at him. Look at him drawing plays for the dirt. Oh, look at him throw that ball in there. Oh, look at him jump into the arms of his offensive lineman. It's the little kid in him. He's never let it go. I mean, this is what I had to watch this stuff for the last 5 years of Brett Favre's career. And now that he's gone, and he's been gone for a while, doing his Wrangler jeans commercials and beyond, here's the deal. Aaron Rodgers has established that he ain't throwing 336 interceptions in his career. And he's not going to lead the league in interceptions 3 times in his career because he is Aaron Rodgers and he is not he is not Brett Favre. Don't tell me that Brett Favre wants this man to win a second Super Bowl title. I don't believe it. I think he's
Teddy,
jinxing.
I've never seen a love affair like the media had with Favre. Toward the end, when he was sometimes costing his team because he was being a little reckless.
Until he kept retiring, then it got annoying.
Going against Brett Favre late in his career, the game plan was this. Just play consistent defense. He's going to give you a chance 3 or 4 times a game. You don't go into a game with Aaron Rodgers and think that. You just don't. You think you got to play tight. Hopefully you get your hand on a ball. I mean, he's not going to give you those chances that Brett Favre gave you. So, I mean, I'm sure Brett Favre's back there thinking, that old running around thing that he did, I did that 20 years ago, and I did it a lot better. It's hard for some players to come to the fact that someone is faster, someone is better, someone looking at players like a Hightower and a Mayo. Those guys are good linebackers at the New England Patriots. They're a little better than me. It's possible. It's very possible, and they probably are. But it takes humility to realize that. But to play mind games if he's doing them now and saying, I'm with you, but I'm really not, and I think I'm actually better than you.
I'm the only one who believes he really thinks he's back
when we have a multiple-time champion who played the game corroborating what it seems like. Isn't that nice when you see something like this? You go, you know what's going on? That's what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, but
it happens all the time. You rarely do it from the retired seat. I mean, still trying to do that and sort of putting a little bit of a mind game on your quarterback that I'm with you and you know he don't like you. But, hey, if you want it, you know I said you were winning and now we're friends again. But if you don't, I was with you.
He's jinxing him.
I was with you.
He's jinxing him because, as you said, Aaron Rodgers is better than Brett Favre. Period.
He said it right here. Without saying it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Any day of the week.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up next, Bills legend Jim Kelly will join us. We'll break down all of the issues. What's going on with the Buffalo Bills? And, of course, Rex Ryan. Stay tuned for that First Take. Just getting started.
Bridgestone engineers are helping Larry Fitzgerald go long.
Bridgestone's dual Lenza Plus is engineered to go 80,000.